Good morning and welcome to Up to the Minute. I'm Todd Duplantis. Good to have you with us. We're live from the HCCTV studios this morning. It is finally Friday and hashtag Film Friday as well. We've got a couple of special guests. First, though, my co-host every Friday morning, Randy Ramsey's joining me from Swamp Media Project and also one of our adjunct professors here at HCC. Good to see you, Randy.
Good to see you too. I'm in the opposite of my usual Friday mode. I am ramping up because a week from today is the Houston Media Conference, which Southwest Alternate Media Project and HCAS and IEP are putting on. So fingers crossed we have a good turnout and it goes really well. But it's like throwing a big party and being afraid nobody's coming.
Nobody's going to show up, huh? Well, if you're going to be there, I'm sure you'll have an entourage with you and everyone will show up. And is there information on it where people can find on the web or where exactly?
Absolutely. Just Google Houston Media Conference 2023. It's on the Swamp website. It's on the HCAS website. It's on the governor of Texas's website.
Wow, it's all over the place.
I know. Greg Abbott has never been a fan of mine, so that's different for a change.
Well, we are happy to have you with us on this Friday. We want to thank everyone who's watching us on Facebook Live and YouTube. You can catch our show at 10 a.m. Mondays through Fridays, just about every day when HCC is in session. And Randy, they can also watch us anytime, rebroadcast on social media and on HCCTV.
Yep, we're on X, formerly known as Twitter, and YouTube, and we have on our Facebook page, which is the Houston Community College District, not HCC, because some other evil HCC just took it. And we're on it on HCCTV at noon, 5 and 10 p.m. So no reason to miss us.
All right. So I bet you're excited about this next two guests. You're going to be interviewing them. We've got Dr. Gretchen Odion and her husband, Charles Odion. Gretchen is a professor of HCC's history department, but she's also a writer and co-producer of a movie called Spurring Change. Talks about the history of Black rodeo cowboys. Good to see you both. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having us. It's a pleasure being here.
Yeah, so we're looking forward to hearing all about your movie. And we've got Randy's going to be checking in with you in about 10 minutes. All right, stand by.
Sure, thank you.
All right, we're going to kick things off. First, one of our HCC TV producers just returned from what should have been a trip to paradise, but it was anything but that. Stacee Hawkins is an HCC TV producer and a communications instructor here at HCC. Good to see you, Stacee. Welcome back to Houston, and we're going to get into your troubling trip in a second.
Oh, thank you very much. As they say in Hawaii, mahalo for the opportunity.
Now, your spring break vacation was California, and they had a weird atmospheric river that dropped a ton of rain in Northern California at the time, causing mudslides and taking out power in Monterey County. But let's start with where you just were, because you were going to take the dream trip of a lifetime, 2 weeks in Hawaii. Tell us what happened.
Well, we had our first week in Kauai, which is the Garden Isle. You remember from Jurassic Park.
Yep,
and
I've been there. Beautiful.
Great time. We then transferred to the island of Maui. And we had a couple of beautiful days in Maui. On Tuesday, the 8th, we got up and we were going to do some sightseeing. And we encountered some traffic going through Lahaina. And we thought it was just from some downed power lines. They'd had some winds the night before. So we went out, we went to Surfing Goat Dairy and petted the baby goats and went to the Aquarium of Hawaii, had a great time. We were on our way back late that afternoon. And when we got close to the Lahaina bypass, we just saw these incredible billows of black smoke. And we thought, okay, that's not good. Maybe they just are having a brush fire. And all the traffic was at a standstill. So we decided to wait a little bit, see what would happen if they could open up the road again. We ended up waiting for 4 hours. The sun went down. We started seeing just, yellow and orange on the horizon. Yeah. And then it started turning people around. So we decided, we knew there was an all-night Safeway in the town of Kihei. So we went to Kihei. We were kind of camping out in the Safeway parking lot. We bought some snacks, and our phones just started blowing up with alerts saying, residents of Kihei are advised to evacuate because of a brush fire. And we thought, well, great, now we've got to get out of here. Where do we go? So we looked on the map. We thought about where we wanted to go. We went to the town of Wailuku, kind of camped out in a CVS parking lot overnight. And by the time morning came around, it was pretty clear we weren't going to be able to get back to our resort.
Wow.
We were completely cut off. We ended up staying 2 nights in the parking lot of a Red Cross shelter, and slept Friday night in the airport before we came home on our original flight.
Let me ask you this. When all this was going on, what was the communication like? Did you think literally the whole island was on fire? Did you know were you aware of everything that was going on? And had you heard that Lahaina had been totally devastated?
It was difficult to get information, particularly at first. There was not a lot of communication from news resources. It wasn't until the local DJs kind of got information from people on the ground everywhere that we really figured out what was going on. It was probably another day before we really understood the devastation of Lahaina, which was just an incredible tragedy.
I know you told me there were a number of you couldn't say enough about the people that reached out to help you guys. And you had a story about an airport janitor who offered to help you as well.
Yeah, that was just incredible. That Friday night, my husband and we'd been able to get our stuff from the resort. They had run some shuttles back and forth. We had our confirmed tickets, but we were just going to sleep in the airport and get out on the early flight. There was a janitor that was cleaning up, and he came and sat down by us and said, "Do you mind if I sit with you while I have my dinner break?" We're like, "No, that's fine." And he said, "I know that all of the restaurants and stores here are closed in the airport. I have some extra fruit and extra sandwich. Would you like to share my dinner with me?"
Wow.
And we said, "No, we've already had dinner. We have our snacks, we're fine, but thank you so much. And, please, feel free to sit with us." And he was asking us about our experience and how we were doing. And we finally got around to asking him how he was doing. And that's when he showed us video on his phone that he took of his house burning down.
Wow. Unbelievable.
And here, this guy was asking how we were.
Yeah. And he just lost his house.
Yeah. That aloha spirit, of helping each other out and helping us out as visitors. I mean, aloha is not just a marketing slogan. It's real.
Yeah.
It's absolutely real.
Unimaginable. You had to spend a couple of nights at the Red Cross shelter up there. What was that like?
It was a scene of mutual cooperation. People were bringing donations to the center almost before it opened. There was a couple of mechanics that set up one of those little pop-up tents kind of in the back of the parking lot, and they were doing free minor repairs for people's cars. A lot of the volunteers with the Red Cross vests on were people that were staying at the shelter, and they were like, "Yeah, we're eating the donuts. We might as well serve them too."
Yeah.
We saw people in Costco buying big stacks of children's pajamas and, bringing them over. It was just, there's a lot of cooperation going on there. It was really affirming of your faith in humanity.
There's you've been watching, I imagine, a lot of the coverage of what's going on over there now. What do you take away from that?
Well, first of all, just the tragedy of losing Lahaina. The Native Hawaiian people are really working to hold on to their culture. And Lahaina was the first capital of Hawaii under Kamehameha the Great. They lost a cultural center with a lot of his regalia and documents and so forth. So they are just brokenhearted over that. But that aloha spirit is something that I'm going to hold on to for the rest of my life.
Do you think, you're getting some mixed signals. Some people are saying, don't go to the island. But then they're saying we're losing so much money. They're losing like $2 million a day over this. And they're saying there are other parts of the island that are available for people, and they're encouraging people to come there. What's your take on that? I
would say for the next few months, probably don't go. There are some really good organizations you can donate to. One local organization that I heard a lot about was the Hawaii Community Foundation. They have a Maui Strong Fund. And of course, Red Cross, United Way, those are always good to donate to. But I've heard a lot of good things about local boots on the ground. So if you'd like to have a local impact, I mean, that's my take, that's probably the best, for at least these first few months.
You've got a goat story from over there as well?
Well, there's a wonderful little goat farm called Surfing Goat Dairy that was started by a couple of Germans that decided to retire to paradise. You can go there, you can pet the baby goats, you can feed the billy goat, find out a lot of disgusting little trivia facts about things that billy goats do, and taste some wonderful goat cheeses. That's where we were the day of the fires. It's one of our favorite places to go. It's just a cute little local experience. And I remember they posted on Facebook the day after the fire, "We're okay."
They made it through.
They made it through, and they're also offering to care for people's pet goats if they are displaced right now. So,
real quickly, Stacee, when I talked to you and your husband, y'all were in your car over there. Y'all were there for your anniversary trip. Obviously, this is, nothing like having an anniversary and going through this. Had to, you grateful you're together, grateful you're safe.
Yeah.
But y'all were there for your anniversary, weren't you?
Yeah. Our 31st anniversary.
Wow.
And just the way that my husband came through it just affirmed that I married the right man.
Absolutely.
He's the best guy in the entire universe, and I'm so blessed to have him.
Stacee Hawkins, she's a producer here at HCCTV and just returned from the island of Maui. Good to have you back, Stacee.
Mahalo.
All right. Thanks for being here. All right. We're going to turn things over to you, Randy, and you've got a couple of special guests also from HCC.
Oh, I'm super excited because, I'm a big documentary fan. So welcoming this morning, Dr. Gretchen Odion and her husband, Charles Odion. And both of them, HCC professors. Gretchen, you're in the history department, and I believe, Charles, you're in the math department, correct?
Correct.
But we're not here to talk about numbers, which is good, because I would not do well at that. Film, however, I'm good. So you guys worked on Spurring Change, which is, I'm super excited about Black rodeo cowboys. So let's get into this. You're a history professor. You wrote this documentary, co-produced it with your husband. So how did that go? Like, what inspired it? Why do it? And then why do it together? Because asking me to work with my husband would not probably go this well.
Well, it started out, I was going to attend a conference, and I was preparing a paper about Black cowboys. And I was going to basically place emphasis on the Prairie View Trail Ride. So I traveled to Prairie View and interviewed some of the members of the Trail Ride Association, the Prairie View Trail Ride Association. And that led me to the Dykemans, because Murtis Dykeman Sr. was one of the founders of the Prairie View Trail Ride. And by the way, that is the oldest documented African-American trail ride in the country. So that was a piece of history, interesting. Down the street, I said, I want to do a story. I'm going to present this paper. Met Murtis Dykeman, and then that was like peeling an onion. I went to another layer that led me to Murtis Dykeman. I interviewed Murtis and found out that he was not only one of the founders, but he was also the first African-American cowboy to compete at the National Finals Rodeo in 1964. He pretty much integrated professional rodeo.
So he was like the Jackie Robinson of rodeo.
In fact, he is known as the Jackie Robinson of rodeo because in 1967, for a very brief period, he was first in the world. From 1961, Murtis turned pro in 1961. He had no sponsors. And we're talking the Jim Crow South, where most of the rodeos were. It wasn't an easy task for him. There are stories where he had to sleep in his car. He was denied entrance into the arenas by the gatekeepers. Just one story after the next, the Jim Crow South in the 1960s. But he persevered, he endured, and he had the tenacity to continue. When I interview Murdis, he says that he wanted to prove that an African American or a Black man could win the world. Unfortunately, he did not, but he opened many doors for many people.
So how did he end up becoming a rodeo rider?
Murdis grew up on a ranch in Crockett, Texas. So he basically tended to the livestock. So he had history there. And he had been doing that since he was 10 years old. In fact, Murdis did not attend school. He did not acquire a formal education because he had to work. And while working, I guess turning lemons into lemonade, he managed to master the horses and the bulls and all of the livestock. There's a story, he said, when he was little and too young to get on the bull, he would ride the hogs. He would ride anything that he could, but he learned to master rodeoing.
And so he moved to Houston and he started as a bullfighter, right?
He was a bullfighter. He moved to Houston. He was always interested in rodeoing while in Crockett, but when he moved to Houston, he met James Francis. He met Willie Thomas, Freddie Gordon. He met cowboys in Houston who encouraged him to pursue a professional career in rodeo. James Francis basically said when he saw Murdis, he knew that there was something special and they had to basically rally behind, and they did rally behind his talent. And James Francis paid for Murdis' rodeo entrance. Murdis did not have the money. He had, at that time, he had 4 children, and he was working, driving trucks. So James Francis said that was the best investment that he ever made in his life, purchasing the rodeo card. It was like maybe $50 at that time. But that was an astronomical amount of money, especially when you're not having the money.
So he didn't end up winning the world, but didn't he mentor another rider
He
who
mentored
became a world champion?
absolutely Charlie Sampson. Charlie Sampson was Murdis' protege, mentee, however you wish to phrase it. But yes, Murdis was Charlie's idol. And Charlie told me the story that he met Murdis in California when he was about, 15 years old. And he was always interested in rodeoing. And he said he had pictures of Murdis, and he finally got to meet him while Murdis was on the circuit in California at a rodeo. And he said he went up to Murdis, showed him his picture. Hey, I want to be a cowboy. I want to ride bulls. And Murdis said, how old are you, son? Are you in school? And Charlie said, yes. And he said, when you finish school, come back. I will mentor you. Murdis was very big on education. He did not manage to acquire formal education, but he made sure, and he still makes sure today, that younger people put education first. And so Charlie Sampson, Murdis' mentee, went on and he won the world in 1982. Murdis Dykeman pulled his rope. And after that championship ride, Charlie ran up to Murdis saying, we did it. We did it. Charlie yelling, I did it for you. We did it. And,
Well, I hear that you guys, our HCC co-host Nick Cox, let loose that you all had a red carpet event for the documentary. How did that go?
oh boy, it was beyond my imagination. We had it at the Star Theater, and we got bumped around with Barbie and some of the blockbuster movies. And when we finally got it, we had the theater that how many people? 175 people. And it was actually it was standing room only at one point. So I never imagined that. It got teary-eyed. And even more so during the documentary at points where the crowd would actually applaud, they would cheer.
So I always ask all of my documentarians this. What do you want people to take away from this remarkable story?
I want them to realize that there were African American cowboys. My husband has a story. You want to tell your story, Dave?
I never saw a rodeo rider when I was in Nigeria. I'm from Nigeria originally. And when I came to the US, in Nigeria, we were watching John Wayne and Clint Eastwood movies. But when my wife started working on this, I got to know about rodeo, and she got interested, and I was here to support her technologically. That's how it all started.
Yeah, Charles and I, we traveled to many rodeos. I know about rodeos. I wasn't a big rodeo fan prior to this. I'm interested in Meredith Dykeman and ascertaining the history, but I had to attend rodeos to interview the other cowboys, like Harold Cash, Freddie Skeet Gordon, and many others. And we went from rodeo to rodeo, Crockett, you name it, Hitchcock, Fort Worth. We traveled out of the state, Vegas, to Colorado, and to gather this. It took 5 years for this to complete this documentary. But
Well, go ahead.
my
Sorry.
work has been featured. ESPN featured it. They did a special on African American cowboys, and they presented it, and they used some of my footage. I was credited. And HBO is making a movie. They're in the process. Well, everything is at a standstill now.
Right.
They were prior to the strikes. They were in the process of making a movie, and I am confident that they will complete the movie. This is going to be an HBO movie, and I had been in talks with them about they want to use my documentary as a kind of like a bundle, the real movie and the movie with the actors and the Meredith Dykeman and all of the other cowboys and cowgirls, Molly Taylor Stevenson, Pat Hinton, and other people.
Well, it sounds like it's been an amazing adventure. And thank you so much, Dr. Gretchen Odion and Charles Odion, for sharing that with us. Spurring Change. We're super excited. And the information about the documentary is in the post after the show. And come back and see us when things start moving again. We're super excited about the eventual film.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
All right. Thanks for being here. Okay, we've got a few announcements to talk about. One of them, well, guess what? School starts, or classes start for the fall 2023, I believe. What, on Monday, Randy?
I think it's Monday.
Monday.
I'm unprepared.
That's right. So you've got a couple of days left to register. We're making it easy for you. We've got registration fairs across the district. In fact, support is available again this weekend during HCC system-wide registration fairs. Prospective students can get assistance selecting courses, enrolling, receiving eligible financial aid, and learning of other options to cover costs. And you get a chance to win a $500 scholarship. They have drawings across the district for that. They're from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. tomorrow, Saturday, August the 19th, on most HCC campuses. Check our post after the show for locations and more info. The main thing is, if you waited this long, you need to get registered, especially if you want to start classes on Monday. And also, we've got a faculty exhibition happening as well, Randy.
That's right. This is a solo exhibition featuring the artwork of faculty member Amy Beth Wright, Monday, August 21st to November 3rd in the HCC Stafford Fine Arts Gallery. It's free. Check our post after the show for more info.
And let's see, there is a job fair, Path to Profession. Students eligible for the work study program can attend a Path to Profession job fair to secure part-time student work where you can earn up to $15 an hour. 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Monday through Thursday, August 28th to 31st, respectively, at the Central, North Line, Southeast, and West Loop campuses. We'll have some information in our post after the show as well. And there's Drama's Open Call. You
So
want to get some drama in your life?
This. I love drama in my life. So do you want to shine? Do you want to be on stage, backstage? HCC Drama is seeking individuals for its fall productions at Central, Southwest, and Northwest. This is an open call for all HCC students, and no experience is necessary. 7:30 to 9:30 Tuesday, August 29th, HCC Stafford Fine Arts Center, Black Box Theater. No registration needed. Just show up and check our post after the show for more information.
Okay, August is Wellness Month. Prioritize positivity. HCC reminds us to prioritize holistic well-being across various aspects of life by focusing on self-care, healthy habits, overall wellness. Check your HCC email from HCC's Talent Engagement or Talent and Learning Development for more ways you can prioritize your wellness. As we mentioned, registration's happening. Hard to believe we're already starting August, or we're starting the fall 2023. It doesn't feel like fall outside.
No,
not at all. These 100-degree days have to end sometime, Randy.
Inshallah.
One of these days.
But I will tell you that the 100-degree weather does mean that we're ready for Mental Health Monday.
Yeah, Mental Health Monday is just around the corner, and you can check out an HCC counselor who returns to discuss conflict resolution. And we'll also have Spotlight HCC's Human Resource Program. All that and more Monday on the show. Randy, have a good weekend.
See you later, Todd. Have a great weekend.
All right. All of y'all have a good weekend. Get registered for classes. We'll see you Monday live here for Up to the Minute.